When fighting or sparring, a strong jab can sway the outcome of a fight through measuring distance, rhythm disruption, and setting up punches. Needless to say, it's best to shut down our opponent's jab. So in this video, I'm going to show you 14 different ways to counter the jab. Okay, so we're going to be covering a wide range of counters, including kicking and grappling. With that being said, some of the counters don't apply to boxing or Muay Thai, so I'll make sure to break them down into sections. I want to take a second to define what I consider a true counter, and that's when my partner or opponent is throwing a strike and I'm throwing a strike back at the same time simultaneously, compared to a two-step counter. Also, if you're finding me for the first time, feel free to subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell to catch all my upcoming videos. Okay, let's get to it. Let's start off with the boxing counters. So now we're looking to counter the jab, and to do this, we got to make sure that our partner is throwing the jab. So we have to make them throw it, and that's not too hard when you're, sparring or fighting. But you guys make sure you understand it. So when our opponent's out there, to be within jab range, I'm inside the pocket. So I want to step to the very outside. The reason I'm doing this is so I can see movement when he's coming towards me. That helps me anticipate a little more. At the same time, circling to the right location matters. If I go into his power side, he's more likely to throw his power hand. Jab is the lead side, so I can start circling towards that side. And given my range, it's harder for him to throw a hook at this range and make contact, or an uppercut. So logically, he would throw a jab because he can step in and actually reach me. So now I have a way to kind of put myself into a position where he's going to throw a jab at me. So now I'm going to keep on circling. And how I'm going to start this off, we're going to start off with counters with crosses. Now, one of these things, I'm not looking to catch the jab and then come over after, because I don't consider that a true counter. I'm not doing step one and then step two. I want to do these things at the same time. So when I throw my cross, I'm just stepping in and twisting when he throws his jab. We can do the same thing to the body. I just change levels, throw my cross. Okay. That handles the crosses, but now we can also do overhands. So overhands, the difference between overhand and the cross is I'm looking to hit the crown of the head in this case compared to the jaw. So when he throws the jab, I'm coming over. Instead of going over, I can hit the body as well with the right hook. But if I don't want to, give too much, if I don't want to give too much power on it, but I just want to have just a nice, clean, solid counter just to kind of get them off, we can counter with our own jab. Or to the body. Now on to our Muay Thai counters. Now when I was referencing earlier about the pocket, how we're inside the pocket, I was talking about the range for our punches. And so when someone stays on the outside, it's a little different with say in Muay Thai and MMA, because that outside of the pocket is no longer outside. There's more range with people's kicks and shots. So people will play this. They'll say on the outside, or what they consider the outside, and they'll still try to jump in to get their jabs off. And when they do, that's when we can counter them a little more, especially when we can incorporate legs. So we're going to start off with the teep. The teep is going to be one of the easier things to keep someone off. I try to jump in with that jab. See if it's that leg. It's that teep. You can also do a push kick. You can chamber his leg, hit me back. Timing's a little different. But you can see he has way more range than I do. Okay? Other thing, he can just throw normal kicks. He can just chop my leg when I'm throwing. Since I'm coming to him, he just got to pivot and turn, hit that leg. He doesn't necessarily have to step off and so on. Same thing for the body. And the inside. So now to our MMA counters. To incorporate these, we're going to have to incorporate the grappling side of things. So it's the same thing with the jab. When we're inside the pocket, we can be on the very edge to counter the punches. If I think I'm on the edge, they're still available with those kicks to damage me. And now whether I'm on the very edge of the pocket or actually inside, these particular counters are going to work pretty effectively, especially if they catch me in the middle of that jab. So we're going to start with that small circling. When I throw my jab, my partner's going to go ahead and throw a double. It's going to be one of the better counters to do. Changing levels. Taking your time. You can also do that with that same, because the footing's the same way, you can get a single leg, which is attaching itself to one of the legs instead of both. Or you can go for an outside single. And that will wrap this video up. Two things I want to point out. There's a counter to every strike, and these are not the only counters you can do. If you found this video helpful, like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions, list them in the comments below. Thanks for watching. I'm Coach EJ.